What's so hard about that? You let it all go. You're turning up the volume, reaching for your radio. What's so hard about that? Get your horn up out the case. You flap them little gums out, and you stick it on your face. What's so hard about that?
Look, the show must go on, Dwayne. You can sit here and mope and piss and moan and groan, but we got to go on the air in 10. I need my QB1 with his head in the game. I need my bell cow on board.
Come on, Bruce. You know this ain't right. I mean, look, it's in the damn name. The first down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne. Not Tom, not Dick or Harry, and definitely not Augie.
Look, Augie is our best on-air talent from QWIL Deportes, and I know he'll do a bang-up job on the show. We can finally capture our Spanish demo, and you'll get some cross-cultural exposure at the same time. It's a win-win for us, and who knows, maybe you'll make a new friend, or, in this case, an amigo.
Pues estoy muy emocionado por la oportunidad, señor Dwayne. Siempre quise hablar de fútbol americano con los verdaderos gringos.
He says he's very excited for the opportunity, Senor Dwayne, and he always wanted to discuss American football with real gringos.
Mucho gusto, Augie. Look, I'm sure you're a great guy and all, but if it's all the same to y'all, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this solo.
Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud, Dwayne. Augie's got some real great hot sports takes. He loads up the sports cannon every day. And he's a diehard Pine fan. You know that. He wears purple and brown. You two will have plenty to jabber about, won't you, Augie?
Sí.
He says yes.
Augie, do you speak English? Habla inglés?
No.
Oh, come on, Bruce.
Look, it's going to be great. Just treat it like real-life Duolingo.
Augie, levantante de mi asiento. I've got a show to do.
Paul Wayne! How the hell did you get in here?
With my good behavior and due to the fact that I'm no longer a flight risk with the football season starting, Judge Creeker knows I'm not going anywhere. So my mom pulled together the $300 for my bail, and here I am.
Well, I'll be damned. The old Teague work ethic saves the day.
Well, you better keep the work ethic running because we're on in 5, boys.
And nice to see you too, Bruce. How's your mom?
Yeah. Spare me the pleasantries and get in the damn studio.
Jeez, what's up his gourd?
He's just acting tough. Hey, man, you ready to talk some Pine football, good buddy?
Does a bear go to mass?
I mean, what kind of bear are we talking? You know what? Wait, that's beside the point. Hot damn, man, the dynamic duo rides again. I can't believe it.
We're on in 3.
Can it, Brent?
What's so hard about that?
Winning. It's not just a motto around these parts, it's tradition. My pappy used to drive me through the great W.H. Nelson County and into one of the greatest high school football cities in the country, Paultom City. For the Porcupines, victory was once a promise, once a dream, now a reality.
Don't stand in front of them, folks. You might get run over. It's the rumbling, tumbling 1949 Texas State Champions Paultom City Porcupine Football Squad.
My pappy's pappy used to tell me stories about the first team to take the Porcupines to a state title with Ronnie the Red Rocket.
This is it, the final drive of the 1967 state championships. Ronnie, the Red Rocket Retro, in the backfield, gets the handoff. He dodges 1, he dodges 2, he may go all the way. He's in! He's in! Ronnie, the Red Rocket, has scored for Paultom City.
And as a young lad, I never thought I'd get to see it for myself.
And he's short! He's short! He did not get it! Paultom holds! Paultom holds! That's 2 state championships in a row!
Boy, was I wrong. From the greatest offenses in the 70s to the dominating defenses in the 90s, the Porcupines have sharpened their quills and won 6 state titles. But despite some amazing teams they've loaded up in the last 15 years or so, just like the big-time boys in Dallas, it's been some time since they've shot their load. But the Pines are ready to shine, ready to get back at Boat, to get back at Gomer 5, and to get back to a state title.
Oh, good God, somebody! I don't know about you, but see six state championships ain't bad.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you the Paultom City Porcupines. One color, one town, purple and brown.
Good afternoon, Pine Nation! It is now time for the first down, coming to you live on QWIL the Quill. I am, of course, your host, Dwayne Applebottom. And if you haven't heard, the rumors are true. In the studio with me today is my partner in crime, the Siskel to my Ebert, the Ebert to my Roper, my Eskimo bro from another Mo. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Paul Wayne T.
Thank you, Dwayne. It is so good to be back amongst my Pine Nation brethren. I gotta admit, after last season, I was in a super dark place. You know, there's only so much the human psyche can take. Between the boat loss for district, Gomer causing the town to go into an economic and mental depression, the boat loss in the playoffs, and being unjustly arrested on a bogus vehicular battery claim, I was pretty down. But after serving my time in the W.H. Nelson Correctional Facility and going through what I can only describe as a religious recruiting battle for my spirit and broadcast talents, I'm proud to say I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And Dwayne, all I see is purple and brown, brother.
Wow, just outstanding. Hey, Hollywood, giving y'all a little heads up. Here's a damn redemption arc for you, all right? Oh, man, you love to see it. Now, I got to ask Paul Wayne, which religion won that recruiting battle for your spirit?
Good brother Dwayne, I went into jail a sinner, but I came out a Catholic.
Ah, well, that's actually kind of still a sinner in my book, but hey, that's beside the point. Pray tell, were any of your prayers answered while you were in the clink?
Dwayne, I had a lot on my mind while I was in the clink, but while I was in there, I mainly only prayed for three things.
Do tell.
I prayed that God would grant me forgiveness for all the wrong I've done around town.
A noble request. We'll see if that pans out.
That he'd grant me one more season of Yellowstone when I got out.
Yeah, and I sure do hope that writer strike ends soon.
And that he and the Pope would make sure the school board fires Coach Strong this offseason.
Well, sir, we may do our praying a little bit differently, but it looks like that we're on the same wireless carrier because I prayed for the exact same thing, and I'll be daggum if the big man upstairs didn't come through for us in a big way.
You sly son of a gun. I can't believe it. You know, finally something starts going our way.
It truly is a Paultom miracle. So y'all can throw out the Immaculate Conception. We've got the Immaculate Departure here in Paultom City.
And I got to ask, did you also wish that someone slashed his tires before he could get out of town?
Well, gosh, Paul Wayne, heavens no. I didn't wish any harm to his health or family. I just wanted him to lose his job and, have to dwell on how close he was to glory for the rest of his life.
Oh, okay, good. We're on the same page then. I was worried for a second.
Right, same, yeah. Now, let me be clear, Pine Nation. I just want to say that I have the utmost respect for Darryl Strong, the person, but Darryl Strong, the coach, he just had to go. He laid a turd bigger than the Enchanted Rock this season, and we all saw it. We all smelt it. And just to be clear, we had no involvement in laying said turd at all. Ain't that right, Paul Wayne?
That's right, Dwayne. We may have been enthusiastic about some actions that took place last season, but ultimately, we weren't calling the plays, so we're blameless. I mean, we really should have been more critical to him all season, especially when he caught that cold last year and almost no-showed at the Cougarville game. I mean, if the kids could barely count on him to be there on Friday nights, how could we?
Exactly. Looking back on it, I'm kind of embarrassed that we made those strong bracelets for him, I mean, when has a cold ever stopped us from showing up to work?
Not a once. We showed up every day during the pandemic.
You're damn right we did. And we may have been super spreaders, but by God, we put on our big boy pants and we showed up. Hell, you know what I heard? I heard he was planning on giving in to the UIL and dialing back 3-a-day practices. I also heard that he was planning on giving the kids Tuesdays off like they do in the NFL. I mean, what kind of crap is that?
And normally I'm all in favor of these kids skipping school and not having to cosplay as book-learning nerds for 7 hours a day. But at some point, we got to see the results. And if you ain't winning district, if you ain't winning state, if you ain't even making it to regionals, then what the hell are all these perks for? The betterment of your education? Get real.
Yeah. And you can't overlook how he mishandled the whole love triangle between Rod Gonzalez and Sax McHolton over Dakota Qdoba. I mean, he should have nipped that in the bud the moment he heard about it. He just let those boys go at it like two dogs pissing on a fire hydrant.
Yeah, him allowing that all to go public really divided the town, too. Hell, you couldn't sit in Senior O'Grady's for 10 minutes without hearing someone say they were Team Sax or Team Rod. Dakota even got a book deal with a local publisher to do a tell-all expose on the affair. And all that mess lies squarely at Coach Strong's feet. How are the boys supposed to focus on the playoffs with all that crap going on?
Yeah, now thank God those kids were seniors last year and we don't have to worry about any more of their drama seeping into the locker room. You know, that's all behind us. You know, but I did hear that Sax and Dakota were expecting.
Whew. Best of luck to you kids. I'm happy to hear we've got another porcupine in the pipeline now, but raising a kid ain't easy. You know, as a man who has let 15 consecutive cactuses die, I can't imagine what it's like keeping a kid going. You know, remember to water it daily, Sax. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, all right. Anyways, one last complaint on the Coach Strong front before we go to break is that we haven't even got to that fancy schmancy offense of his. You know, I mean, we let the boys have a little fun with their shotgun formation and spread offense 5 or 6 times a game, but, you know, the results speak for themselves. It wasn't getting it done, okay? The wishbone is tried and true and will never lead us astray. Am I right, Paul Wayne?
Right.
He tried that shotgun bullcrap for our 2-point conversion, and that will live in infamy. You know what I mean? That will definitely live in infamy. And where did it leave us? A day late and $1 short.
And covered in doo-doo water.
Exactly.
Newsflash, folks. Wishbone wins. We know it. The town knows it. And I'm damn glad the school board came to their senses and took action to get back to it. You know, I'm excited for the future, Dwayne. I've been on the edge of my seat ever since I got out of jail to hear who our new fearless leader will be. You know, Coach Strong was a real players-first coach, and historically teams go the other way with their next hire and get more of a drill sergeant type. So it'll be really interesting to see which way they go this year.
Paul Wayne, it's funny you say that because I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, we do need a tyrant. We need a football czar, a real no-nonsense type of guy who won't take no guff and won't take no lip from nobody. You know, we need a guy who will kick ass, take names, go to church on Sunday, and then do it all over again next week. And partner, I'll tell you something. I think we've got our guy.
You holding back on news there, compadre?
I might be. I got news, Paul Wayne. I just received a text from none other than our Booster Club Presidente, Mr. Buddy Boudreaux. And folks, you heard it here first. The pick is in. I am proud to announce that as of 3 o'clock this afternoon, the new coach of your Paultom City Porcupines is none other than 2-time state champion and former coach of your Paultom Porcupines and my favorite coach, Coach Chet Hauser.
Whoa, hot dang. He must have got my letters from jail pleading for him to come back.
Yeah, he
I
must
can hardly
have.
contain myself.
Same here, partner. I mean, he truly is one of my favorite coaches and a genuine friend of the show, if you do recall. Now, this news could not come at a better time because we were really cutting it down to the wire here. Our boys just went through fall camp under the direction of our interim head coach, Judd Chudd. And we were half expecting him to be coaching in the first game, which, of course, to remind y'all, is going to be in the Bum Phillips Classic against the Fallen Beagles down there in Houston in the Astrodome.
Now, while this game doesn't quite have the prestige of the Tom Landry Classic, it's a far cry from the Dave Campo Invitational we were stuck with a few years ago in Beaumont.
Yeah, too true. And now we have the relief of knowing that our boys will be walking into the Astrodome with their heads held high behind our fearless leader, Chet Hauser himself.
Wow, I can't believe Touchdown Jesus, a.k.a. Coach Hauser, is back. I'm really on track to be one of those post-prison success stories. I can't wait till we get to speak to him.
Well, you're in luck because Buddy just told me Coach is calling into the station later on today to greet Pine Nation. So y'all stick with us. We'll be talking to the new coach of your Pine shortly, but coming up next, we've got the Porcupine Player Deep Dive here on QWIL, the Quill. Y'all hang tight, folks. We'll be right back.
Come on down to the capitalistic, materialistic boutique and buffet. That's right, folks. Buddy Boudreaux is back. And this year, I'm bringing you the best deals in the country. Nowhere else can you find 5% interest on any item in the store. Mainly because we don't carry anything over $300 other than my wife's ring. And no one's carrying her. You can trust me on that. But seriously, folks, we got the largest stock of purple and brown porcupine gear in the country. As long as it lasts, ain't nowhere else can you find a Princess Penelope tiara or a Paultom Booster sponsored drink tumbler. We've even got baby-sized football helmets with a sinking boat on the side. Where else you gonna find that? Lids? We ain't got one at Paultom. We got Mama's catfish on the buffet every game day. Grab yourself some fresh pies to take to the game. Every pie sold this year is another $1 to the PCP Booster Club. So get on over to the capitalistic, materialistic boutique and buffet. Such a good deal, our slogan is, don't trust us.
All right, welcome back, y'all. You are listening to The First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne here on QWIL The Quill.
Man, it feels good to hear those words again. It kind of gives you a new lease on life.
Amen, brother. Amen. But, right now, why don't we suppress those emotions and get on down to the Porcupine Player Deep Dive?
You read my mind there, partner.
All right. And this Porcupine Player Deep Dive is sponsored by our friends at Wranglin' Jeans. Wranglin', the banquet jean.
Dwayne, let's start with our starting quarterback coming out of 3-a-days, and that would be Mr. Derek Chudd. He's a steady hand in this offense, and he served admirably for Rod Gonzalez while he was suspended last year, but I'm just not sure if he can elevate this team or if he's just a bus driver.
Agreed. We'll know soon enough, I guess. And, if he is a bus driver, we do have this new kid who moved in from one of those 6-man football schools, Maverick Malcolm Boyd. Did you see him? Now, this kid is quick like a cat. And, he has never met a backwards pass he didn't like. So, if Chudd isn't careful, we could be looking at a quarterback battle here, folks. I'm just saying, that kid may still be learning how to play 11-man ball, but he's got spunk. And you know what? Sometimes that's enough to win the job.
Well, if you think we might have a QB debate on our hands, and oh boy, you strap in for the running backs, because not since Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State have you seen two bona fide studs in one backfield like this.
I like the sound of that.
Dwayne, sometimes when you're locked up and you're not sure when you're getting out, you try and find little strands of hope to hold on to, to get you through each day.
Mm-hmm.
And what kept me going was the news that freshman Titty Biles would be joining #Johnson in a varsity Porcupine uniform.
That's right. You heard correctly, folks. Titty Biles is riding the momentum of a monster season at Paultom City Junior High, and he has entered the fray here with your Porcupines this season. Now, apparently, he was sensational in fall camp.
Dwayne, I feel like I'd be doing Pine Nation a disservice if I undersold just how amazing Titty Biles looks on tape. This guy has got to be the best kid Paultom has picked up since Todd Gonzalez in the 90s, Just imagine Eric Dickerson mixed with Craig James, rolled into Earl Campbell and Ricky Williams, and then, maybe then, will you be able to understand what kind of prospect Titty Biles is. #Johnson has some cute aspirations trying to make first-team All-State this year after finishing second-team last year, but Titty Biles, he's trying to make All-American. He's trying to make All-Pro. He's trying to make it to Canton where he wouldn't have to pay as a visitor. And word is, he's also Simone Biles' second cousin. All I'm saying is, #you better watch your back.
Yeah, you better watch out, #. Now, hopefully Titty Biles is every bit as acrobatic as Simone is, because word on the street is he already has received over 25 Division I offers, Paul Wayne. And since NIL may still be in play in high schools now, he's already been gifted about a half a dozen cars, even though he's not even allowed to drive for another 18 months. The kid's got enough cars, he could put Heaven's Direct out of business if he wanted to.
If he needs any help with some lessons or if he needs some walking around cash, I could use a driver, as I will be without a license for the foreseeable future.
That's true. All right. That is very true. You will not be able to drive for a while. Anyway, Paul Wayne, in the wishbone, you're only as good as the boys in the offensive line, right? And I would be remiss if we didn't mention the big beefy boys up front.
Oh, and those big beefy boys have a chance to be something special there, Dwayne. We'll start with the leader of the line, and at my former position, the center, senior Elijah Renchel. Now, some of you might remember he is the son of Reverend Ty Renchel of First Baptist Paultom, and I can say from firsthand knowledge that Elijah would volunteer some of his time in the offseason and come into the jail and start preaching the good book to some of our more serious offenders. And I got to say, he's really coming into his own as a speaker.
Yeah, now I did hear that the word is that preaching has really helped his line calls. He's become a lot more authoritative on the offense.
Also returning to the team on the right side of the line is Jacoby Kenobi and Keller McCauley.
And I can say from firsthand knowledge myself that they've been loading up on the free food between busting tables over at Catfish O'Holy's during the summer. So here's to hoping that all those push-huppy runoffs have been paying off for these boys.
And to round out the offensive line is our incoming stud left tackle, DeBrickashaw Thompson. Word is he was found on a farm in some podunk 2A-sized town, and one little house payment later, him and his family were on their way to Paultom. You know, this kid's a road grader and has future Power 5 school offers coming his way.
He's a brick house. Ooh, that sounds good. And make no mistakes that will not be the last Commodores reference of the season. I can guarantee you that.
And last, we must mention the returning Seavers, Shaker Simmons and Creeder Sackrider, along with newcomer Mamadou Balde.
Yeah, now he's our junior from Nigeria, and he's 6'5", and he's fast as lightning. And he was the star of the basketball team, believe it or not. But Coach Chud was able to talk to him, actually able to get him to go away from basketball. He gave up some actual Power 5 offers for some really good schools, and he came over to the football team, and he's going to be starting at tight end in what will exclusively be a run, block, and roll. So I got to say, I love the kid's moxie.
The spirit of the Porcupine grabs us all in different ways, Twain. Mm-hmm. And lastly, on the offense, we got to mention last year's leading receiver, tight end Payton Paydirt Hurst.
Paydirt! Word is he's been struggling with the yips and his feet going back to last year's playoff loss versus Boat. He lost the lead in the school play, too, and he also lost his tight end coach, Chad Nabbit, after he bailed on him. So, you know, it's understandable to say that kid's he's just really going through it this year.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to get him to snap out of this. You know, I'm told he even lost his perfect pitch.
Yeah, it's truly concerning stuff, but you know, we hope for the best, and you know, it's a long season. A lot can happen. I'm sure that he'll improve. But anyway, let's move over onto the defensive side of things, Paul Wayne. Our two main stalwarts on the defensive line this year are Jesus Garcia-Zielinski and Aaron Chud, the brother of quarterback Derek Chud.
Yeah, word is Garcia-Zielinski and his sister were going up and down the state participating in food contests this summer. You know, if those two keep it up, a future invite to the 4th of July hot dog contest should be in their sights.
I'd love to see that. You know what? I say that he can clog his arteries all he wants as long as he clogs the holes in the middle just as effectively this season, you know? Now, next up is a kid that recently got called up from the JV to start at middle linebacker, and that's Tim the Tool Man Tyler.
You know, I've heard they call him that because he hits you so hard you say,
You'll definitely be saying hi-ho, neighbor, I tell you that much. All right, lastly, we got the secondary led by Caden McMurray, who was the heart of the defense last year, an all-state defensive back. And, you know, he pretty much had to cover two positions because they didn't have anyone to replace his brother, and all-around permanent screw-up Aiden McMurray.
Yeah, and despite what I thought was a pretty well-organized campaign to get Aiden to quit this offseason, he's back for another season. What I can only assume is abject failure. That's honestly starting to feel a little masochistic.
It truly is, yeah. But fret not, Pine Nation, because we did get word about a late transfer into the Paultom City School District, and that's a cornerback by the name of Alan Bosley. Now, the only note that I have about him is that it says his parents named him after Ryan Gosling's character Alan Bosley in Remember the Titans.
Ryan Gosling was in Remember the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him in that. Was he the quarterback, Sunshine, who had that amazing hair and the rocket arm?
No, sir.
Huh. Was he the star linebacker who did the left side, strong side speech and then later got paralyzed?
Nope, that's going to be another no.
Well, then who the hell was he? That jovial, fat offensive lineman?
No, well, according to IMDb, he was the cornerback who kept getting beat until he was eventually replaced by Petey. That guy, yeah. He was that offensive player, just never played cornerback before.
Now, why the hell would you name your kid after that? And furthermore, why would you admit that's who you named your kid after?
I know, right? And out of all the Gosling roles, that's the one you choose? That's the baby goose role you're going to remember for the rest of your life?
Oh, you're preaching to the choir there, good buddy. Lifelong Goss guy right here. What can't that man do, you know? You want romance? Well, then pack your sweet ass on the couch because we're watching The Notebook and Crazy Stupid Love on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, you want comedy? We got Nice Guys. We got The Big Short. Barbie, you know?
He's a song and dance man in La La Land, or he can play a drug addict teacher in Half Nelson, you know? The man is a real tour de force, and that family chose to name their kid after a nondescript, slow, crappy cornerback?
Yeah, I can't make heads or tails of it, but hopefully our long nightmare of Aiden McMurray starting will be put to bed. So I think this city's had enough of that kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it for the Porcupine Player Deep Dive, sponsored by Wrangling Jeans. Anyway, all right, coming up next on the First Down, we're going to be talking to our new head football coach, Coach Chet Hauser. I am so stoked to talk to him. He's going to be calling in hot off signing his contract with the school board, so we can't wait to get his take. And who knows, we may get a little peek at who's going to be starting at cornerback in the Bum Phillips Classic this weekend. I'd like to know that. So anyway, y'all stick around. We'll be right back on QWIL The Quill. Hey folks, Dwayne here. You know, whenever I think home decor, there's only one thing that I know that will perfectly tie a room together, and that's art of the king himself, Elvis Presley. Now I know what you're thinking. Dwayne, I just don't know where I can find Elvis art these days. And friend, do I have news for you. This weekend is the grand opening of Uncle Eddie's Elvis Emporium, Paultom's first ever fine Elvis art shop. Come sort through hundreds of handcrafted objects depicting Elvis in his many states of performance. From marble busts to velvet paintings, deck furniture to toilet seats, Uncle Eddie promises his merchandise will leave your future guests saying, thank you very much for inviting them over. I can speak from personal experience, folks. People love a good conversation piece of the king. I brought my Elvis chainsaw sculpture home last week, and my neighbors are practically breaking down the door to get a peek, and that's no lie. So come on down to the grand opening this Saturday. First 100 customers will receive 10% off and a free adjustment at Uncle Eddie's Kraken Shack, the best discount chiropractic clinic in W.H. Nelson County. So that's this Saturday at 9, Uncle Eddie's Elvis Emporium, where the prices will leave you all shook up. Welcome back, folks. You are listening to The First Down here on QWIL The Quill. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Catfish O'Holy's Fish Market. Catfish O'Holy's Fish Market. We got air conditioning now. Now, folks, you are in for a real treat here because on the McMurray Mufflers hotline is none other than the two-time state champion winning coach and once again, our coach for the Paultom Porcupines. We're talking about Mr. Chet Hauser. Coach, how are you?
Well, thanks for having me on, boys. I want to take this time to congratulate Paul Wayne on getting out of the pokey. I know many good men have been taken down by a scorned ex-wife, whether it be for a possible vehicular battery charge or because you finally snapped on account of your ex-wife complaining about how you put up the dishes.
Well, thank you, Coach. Your kindness goes a long...
Hauser didn't say he was done speaking. Now let's see if all that time in the slammer whips you into shape. Give me 25 up-downs, Cubby.
Brecken, get the ambulance on the line.
Okay, now, Coach, while Paul Wayne is busy with his calisthenics there, I was hoping you could remind everyone out there in Pine Nation what your coaching philosophy is and what we can expect from the boys in purple and brown this year.
First thing I want to do is quell any Pine fans' fears that we might be passing more. I'm putting that rumor to bed right now. I don't care if we got Pat Mahomes or Dan Marino in my offense. A pitch is more important than a damn pass. We run forward and we pass backward. And I don't want anyone to think that the Pines are going to line up in shotgun formation either. The only shot I want to see lined up is of a double Kentucky Deluxe at Senor O'Grady's after a Porcupines win. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, hell yeah, Coach.
Secondly, Coach Hauser don't want anyone to think that Coach Hauser's gone soft.
I think I know where this is going. Coach, you talking about your 3 C's philosophy?
Well, that's right, Applebottom. I'm talking clubbing, choking, and shot blocking. I want our opponents to be on a first-name basis with the stadium paramedics. Hell, I want our band to learn the sad football music you hear on Fox when they go to commercial after an injury. I want to turn all our opponents from a bunch of has-beens to a bunch of never-wases who you find at the local watering hole after being a JUCO burnout.
Coach, we're both JUCO burnouts you'll find at the local watering hole.
Y'all are also state champs, and you can thank Coach Hauser's after the whistle philosophy for that. And that's the bottom line. Now drop and give me 50, fatty boombalatti.
You better do it, Paul Wayne. Now, I must say, Coach, from a legal perspective, I'm not sure the station can give you a ringing endorsement of your methods, but from a personal perspective, I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Apple bottom. Oh, that yapping is starting to remind me of my ex-wife's 3 C's, criticizing, complaining, and chastising. Criticizing that I don't put up the dishes right, complaining that I don't know that the salad forks don't go in the same port as the dinner forks, and chastising me when I use the wrong fork from a hungry man far as Coach Hauser's concerned, a fork's a fork.
Yeah, now I can't imagine why you're 4 times divorced, but I will say that we should all acknowledge that the results on the field do speak for themselves. All right, now, before we let you go, Coach, we wanted to ask your thoughts on 2 of Paultom's newest additions, running back Teddy Biles and, of course, cornerback Alan Bosley, who, as we all know, is named after Ryan Gosling's character and a member of the Titans. Now, is there any truth to the rumors that they're going to start in the season opener?
I tell you, boys, I've been coaching for 45 years, through 8 presidents, 4 ex-wives, 3 suspensions, 2 state titles, and 1 false paternity suit, and I've never seen a player like Teddy Biles. He's got power of Bo Jackson and the speed of, I guess Bo Jackson.
Wow, Coach, I mean, if I'm just taking a guess here, it sounds like the young phenom is going to get the start.
Hell no. He's still a mealy-mouthed freshman, so hashtag gets the start. As for Alan Bosley, dumbass name aside, Pine Nation have decried the name Aiden McMurray all offseason, and for good reason. Alan Bosley gets the start, and that's the bottom line. Go Pines!
Well, Coach, I can honestly say that's the second best news I've heard all year, and that's going to wrap up today's first episode of The First Down. Take her home, Dwayne.
All right, well, folks, that is going to do it for us today. I do think Paul Wayne is still yakking. Yes, he is in the waist bin there, so I hope that we do get some fluids in him quickly. While we're waiting on fluids there, I do want to remind you all that the tailgate is going to take place this Friday at Shotgun Sal's Saloon at 2 p.m. before we head on down to Houston to take on the Fallen Beagles in the Bum Phillips Classic. We do hope to see you there, or of course you can listen to us here on QWIL The Quill for the Gamecast. Until next time, Pine Nation, this is The First Down with Dwayne and Paul Wayne. I'm Dwayne Applebottom.
I'm Paul Wayne Teague.
Go Pines!
As long as the bills get paid, as long as the food's homemade, as long as the bellyache is kept under control. We'll park it on down in the shade, 'cause man, you got it made. How much dirt do you plan to shovel down the hole? Well, let me just tell you, buddy, know before you go. Don't take no high-educated woman to keep me in the know. What's so hard about that?
The official broadcast partner of Paultom City Consolidated Athletics, QWIL, The Quill.